A very big happy new year to you all, crew. Hope you had a fantastic Christmas and saw the new year in style. Now, as you can tell, I've hijacked the boss's office. Pretty pumped for this. I've had a look down around PLC Coomera. Love the setup. I've met the crew in the corporate office there. Ab's got these monitors that just go for days, which has been really cool to see. Really cool to get behind the scenes and see the work that goes in behind the scenes at PLC. Got a few of the crew that are about to join me and they're going to be sitting around us. So I'm going to do my best to talk and get into the launch pad for 2019. Guys, really excited to be presenting this to you. Really looking forward to seeing the value that you get from this. Now, a few of the activities that we go through today, you guys may not necessarily be able to do given that you're tuning in live. And the fact that you're probably isolated, not within a group of people, but that's okay. We'll get to that. And certainly you can take these ideas away. You can take the activities away and practice them too. Guys, big reason why we've decided to do things in this way. I think the Launchpad, for many of you, or the content we went through last year was so diverse, and was so much of it, such a volume of content that we went through last year, that what I did want to make sure was we got the year off on a great note, that we started the year in great style. And what we've done is taken, for me, what is going to be not only some of the most important aspects, but for mine, making sure that you start the year off on the right note. Guys, as you all know, the health and fitness industry, it's very interesting interesting industry that we're in currently. There's a few things changing. We're seeing times evolve. We're seeing business models change. We're seeing some get left behind. And if you look at the PT space, it is fascinating. I do find it very interesting to study because personal training is one of the few jobs, careers in the world where you receive your Cert 3 and 4, you receive your qualifications, and all of a sudden you're expected to run a business, or supposedly you have the skills to be able to head out and run a business. And quite often what we see in other trades, in other industries, for example, a carpenter or a sparky or a plumber, is you go and do a 3 or 4 year trade and you go and learn your craft, you learn your skills, and then obviously what happens is that from that point on, once you've got that mastered, you obviously come back and you have the opportunity to go out on your own or work for the business for a little bit longer, whoever you've done your apprenticeship through, and really build your career from there. Personal training is very different. We go and do Cert 3 and 4 and you tick the business one and you tick the prac one. All right, guys, bang, see you later. It's very different. And that's why, again, coaches like me, mentors like me in the industry are where we are and we're here is because we understand and appreciate this and want to give you an opportunity to get a foothold in the industry without seeing you turn over. Now, for some of you tuning in today, did you know what the average lifespan of a PT is? Different things being shot at me at the moment. It's about 12 months. And we're going to get into that today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen. So sit tight. Let's hope I get this right. Okay, we're moving and shaking. Here we are, guys. So welcome to, I'll leave that one. I'm going to move this up the top so you can see. So welcome to the Launchpad. Let's get cracking into things. I'm really looking forward to sharing this with you today. So the agenda, guys, obviously we've had a welcome. We've had a good chat. Welcome back to 2019. We're going to go through a bit of goal setting and 90-day targets. I know this is something we did last year. Some of you did this to great effect. Some of you not so much. So let's have the accountability and support there for you. The art of communication is something that I'm really big on. Really big on. And just talking to Jess and the crew in the corporate office, we're having some great conversation around how the industry is evolving, how people are really looking for service and quality of service and care factor over cost and over price. Got some of the crew joining us now, which is pretty exciting, which is great. I'll come back and say hi in a sec. I can't see who it is, but I will get back to that. The member experience is another big one that we're going to look at too, guys. And it's not necessarily looking at the high-end stuff, even looking at, going to the extent of looking at referral programs, loyalty programs, and things like that. We're going to look at the little things. I've actually called it the Good Charlotte effect. Might sound a bit corny, but for those of you that are Good Charlotte fans, you know exactly where I'm going to here. We'll have a bit of time for Q&A and then we'll wrap things up. Okay. Now, as I mentioned before, the one thing that I want to kick off today and what I want to make brutally make you brutally aware of is the average lifespan of a PT. Looks like me this morning. The average lifespan of a PT in the industry. Who's got a guess? Said it before. Okay. So we're looking around 12 months. We're looking around 12 months. And as you're joining in and as you're tuning in, you might have missed the intro. That's okay. But for me, the reason behind this is because we are one of the few industries where you receive your qualifications and it's just expected that you're able to come out and run a business. It's not that simple. This is business. This is a grind. And there is some work to do. And the sad thing is that people expect that because you've done 8 weeks of study or 12 weeks of study that you should just know this stuff. And that's a bit unfair. For me, that is a little bit unfair. Now, that's part of it. But the other, now, some survive. Let's be honest, we're all here today. We're still surviving. That's a massive tick. But why do they survive? Or flip side, why don't the others survive? So we're talking of business skills and we're talking about, yes, we can look at motivation, we can look at all those types of things, but I've really narrowed it down to 4 things. And the first thing is that they don't know what they want. They don't know what they want to build. They don't know what to build in a business. They're not quite sure what they're after. They're not quite sure who they want to help, how they're going to help them. They may not understand them so well. Okay. Next reason, they don't know how to get it. So they know what they want, but they don't know how to get it. They don't know the steps. And this is where I believe, again, throw my legal disclaimer in, but this is where I think the RTOs are really letting young trainers down. They paint this magnificent picture that you can be, cruising into cruising into a gym and you can be cruising on 6 figures within 6 weeks. That's baloney. That's so far from the truth. It takes some work. You've got to do your apprenticeship. Okay, now we're hoping with what we go through today, we're really hoping to fast track that apprenticeship. Number 3, they know what they want, they know how to get it, but they don't know how to do the work. They don't do the work. They don't roll the sleeves up. Now, what I quite often find when people say, well, is that a motivation thing? What is it? Well, for me, if you're doing something you love, motivation's not the issue. For me, I'm going to go through a bit of mindset stuff in a second because there's some incredible learnings and developing that we've done. And it's a bit of a different spin on personal development. And again, legal disclaimer thrown in here. I know it's not, I know what I will suggest is not for everyone, but I do know that this is certainly something that may help some of you. Okay. The last reason there is burnout. So they know what they want. They know how to get it. They crack in, do the work. But the problem is they're then doing 40 sessions a week, plus building the business, plus working on the business. You're up at 4:30. You've got sessions till 9:30, 10 o'clock. You train yourself. You go home, have lunch, throw up a few posts on Facebook and Instagram. You have a 20-minute power nap. You get back up. You have a shower. You run through the shower, literally, because you're running a little bit late because your power nap actually went a little bit longer than what it was supposed to. And then you get back to the studio for the evening sessions. You finish about 7:30. You're back home by 8 o'clock. You cook your dinner, sit on the couch. You're exhausted. Eat, sleep, and repeat. Burnout's a real issue. And burnout will continue to be an issue if we don't look at the way that we model and shape our businesses. And I know so many of you, talking to Brittany downstairs, who's doing a great job with her PT business and building that. I know for a fact that everything that she's doing isn't one-on-one, which is terrific. Okay, so how do we fix it? How do we fix it? Some of you are probably tuning in saying, okay, well, that's all well and good. I get those 4 tips, but how do we fix it? Now, this is where I do want to share some mindset stuff, and this is a little bit different. And has anyone read a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep? If you haven't, I highly suggest you read it. And the reason that I highly suggest that you read it is because it does challenge the way we see personal development. It does challenge a lot of what the so-called PD gurus are practicing and preaching. And what it does challenge is the way that things are being delivered. What it does do is challenge daily rituals and challenge affirmations. Challenge is affirmations in the sense that if you keep telling yourself something that you're not, unfortunately, at some point in time, you're going to be hit with the brutal reality of where you are. And you're going to keep telling yourself something that you're not, and that's just telling yourself a big fat lie. And that doesn't necessarily make you feel so good. So for me, there's a few things we look at here, and as we pre-frame here, as we just before we get into our goal setting section, there's three key steps. Now, guys, some of you may have seen over the break, I'm now coaching a senior team in the QAFL, which is really exciting down at Broadbeach. Really looking forward to the year ahead. And I actually use this with them. Now, a bit of a backstory: the guys played in the grand final last year. Look, did an incredible job, but obviously, yeah, they would love to go one step further this year. Now, the first thing that I said to them was, guys, where are you at? Where do you believe that you're at as a club? And they said, well, you know what, we played the grand final. I said, yeah, that's great. What did you get beaten by? And they said, oh, we got beaten by this. I said, okay, well, that's where we're at right now. We are the second best team in the competition by this many points. Now, you don't have to like it, but we have to accept it. That's where we're at. That's where things are at. And that's okay. You don't have to like it. But what's the goal? If this is where we're at, what's their goal? Well, to be the best team in the competition. Okay, great. Let's set that goal. So we did. We set the goal to be the best team in the competition. Now, the last step here is the most important one out of all of this, I believe. So often people get paralyzed by shiny light syndrome and they just keep chasing bright lights. Shiny this, shiny that, shiny this, shiny that. They don't pay any particular attention to what they did to get there. They don't pay any particular attention to the process. They don't pay any particular attention to anything else other than the bright, shiny object. I want, I want, I want. Now, what I want mindset typically is one that's not so grateful, not so appreciative, and not so thankful. It's also one where you don't appreciate and enjoy and trust the journey. So with this said and done, guys, if this is all that you took out of today, this is all that you took out of our workshop today, and I know we're only about 20 minutes in, become obsessed with the process it takes to get what you want. And obsessed is not too strong a word whatsoever. Become obsessed with what it takes, become obsessed with the process, become obsessed with the how-to and the execution of the steps, and reviewing what you've done and then refining so that you set new steps in place. Become obsessed with that. Become obsessed with that process. Become very thankful and appreciative and grateful of the process. I tell you right now, guys, I am so thankful of what I've been through, the ups and more so the downs. I'm very appreciative of the up times, but I'm as grateful and as appreciative of the low times, if not a fraction more, because that's where you learn your greatest lessons. You run something that doesn't necessarily work. Hey, that's okay. Let's dissect it. Why didn't it work? And you refine some things, and then you reset, you replan, you re-strategize, and you re-execute. And that's the process. Very basically, but that's the process. Okay? So we start looking at that overall, and we start looking at your business, and we start looking at what it is that you want to create moving forward. And I'm not just saying this year. This year might be a starting point for a lot of you. This year might be, you know what, bang, BZ's workshop, let's hit the reset button. But here's a process that you can execute on a daily basis. You can review on a daily basis. And here's a process that will hold you in great stead moving forward with whatever it is that you want to build, any business. It doesn't have to be PT, it could be any business. Okay, set your goal. Set your goal. Break it into targets. Plan and strategize as to how you're going to achieve those targets and then get to work. And then what we do at the end of 90 days, and we're going to go into our goal setting and 90-day targets in a second, then what we do is we review what worked, what didn't. Now, you'll even review more frequently than that. We might run an irresistible offer, and we'll get to those later today. We might run an irresistible offer. We might run a campaign. We might run something and it has a massive, massive response. You want to review that and you want to understand why it had such a massive response. On the flip side, if you run something and it doesn't necessarily take off, well, why? And again, legal disclaimer, we might start to get into some of my biggest gripes in the industry right now, which is the fact that there is so much of the same shit being posted out there. And not so much that it's the same shit, but that the same shit is being marketed in the same way. No wonder people say, oh, there's a PT and a gym on every corner. And you know what? There might be, and the market might be saturated. But it's not terribly competitive. And we're going to go, and when we get to the member experience today, you're going to see why, and you're going to understand why the industry is where it's at right now. And some of you may have seen earlier this year, I popped up my predictions for 2019. Again, personal opinion only, but I think the 24/7 gyms are in grave danger of becoming extinct in the next 3 to 5 years if they don't do something now, or if they don't do something differently to what they're doing now. We'll go into that later. Okay, let's get into goal setting. So, guys, here's your first task, and I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to work on this. What I'm going to encourage you again to set right now, I'll give you a good few, give you 5 minutes on this one. So, guys, 12-month business goal. It's now Monday, the 21st of January. I want you to come up with with a goal for your business that you want to achieve by December. Let's say Christmas. Let's say December 25. Okay. I then want you to set a personal goal for the same period. Now, guys, what you might find and what you might like to do, again, I know so many of you are sole traders. Look, in time, you'll have staff and you'll be building bigger businesses, which is terrific. What you might like to do is even tie your business goal in with your personal goal, so that for you to achieve what you want to achieve personally, it means you have to hit that business goal. Now, some people like to do that, some don't. I don't mind. It's up to you, okay? It's your business. I'm just here to guide you, okay? And the last point here is know why. Know why it's so important to you to achieve that business goal. Know why it's so important to you to achieve that personal goal. Okay, you've got to know your why. Got to know why you're doing what you're doing. Okay, give you a couple of minutes, guys. Okay, give me another minute or so to tidy up. 12-month business goal. Where do you want things to be when you sit down Christmas Day? When you sit down Christmas Day, with a massive smile on your face. Why are you smiling? Okay, why are you smiling? Where's the business at? What's the business turning over? How many clients are you helping? How many sessions are you doing? Personally, what have you been able to do? Is it a trip away? Been able to do some travel? Have you done some more study? Have you done some further studies? But the only reason you've been able to do those further studies is because you've had to invest. And by getting the business to a particular point, it's allowed you to reinvest in yourself. And you'll get there in a minute. What is it? Okay. Now, as you're just tidying these up, what's really important, what I find with goal setting, and again, guys, some nuggets of gold here. Guys, how many people set goals and do not review them? How many people have set a New Year's resolution and they've already forgotten what it was, or they've already got, or it's done and dusted? I'm not having a drink this year. Oops. What are we? 21st of January. Oops. How many people have done that? I'd say a lot. So one way to help you review these daily is to set up a vision board. Now here's an example of one. Not that I fit it all on my presentation, but that's okay. You get the gist. Now, this was our one from last year. So if I sort of go through, so Renee and I, where do we start? Renee and I got engaged, so we ticked that one. We booked our cruise. So Renee's birthday this year, that was a bit of a longer term one, but that's happening. Hello. We bought a jet ski, we bought a house, and we have our little fella. Pretty cool year. Pretty cool year. What helped me to achieve all of this? That's set as the back screen of my phone. So every time someone calls, every time I reply to a message, every time I reply to Facebook, every time I open my phone, and every time I hit that button, bang, there it is. I would have seen that over the last 12 months. I would have seen that, I'd say about 2 or 15,000 times. No wonder things came to fruition. Okay, do yourself a favor. Set up your vision board. Now, I'm not going to stall here because we could be on Google finding photos, but set this as one of your activities to complete. Okay, sometimes it takes a little bit of research, finding the right photo that best represents what you're wanting to achieve. But I encourage you to take the time. I'm a big fan of vision boards, and I think they do a great job. Just looking in, even in the boss's office, there's some really cool things in here that I know are helping him achieve what he wants to. All right, let's start breaking these goals down into business targets, into 90-day business targets. Now, the reason why we do this, very simply, is that what we're looking to do here is, rather than getting stuck with our eyes on the big prize and forgetting what we need to do to get there, I want to break down that big prize into manageable targets. Okay? By breaking that down into manageable targets, what I'm then able to do is plan and strategize around what exactly I need to do to achieve those targets. Now, the method to the madness here is, if I hit my 4 90-day targets, so if I hit my targets for each quarter of the year, I'll hit my business goal. And if you've tied your business goal to your personal goal, it should mean that you hit that as well. Okay? Now, what I do like to do here is set my business targets using client sessions and income. So let's give you a bit of an example. Okay? So let's say that your 12-month goal was to turn over 500, was to turn over 5,000, let's add a zero. It was to turn over 5K weekly. Okay, that was my gross. Okay. Now, if I broke that down into 4 targets, it would mean that my first 90-day target would be, if I was to start from scratch, or even if I wasn't, that's okay, but let's start from scratch. It would mean that my first 90-day target would be to hit 1250 turnover per week. Okay, so 1250 turnover by the end of March is where we'd be. Okay. Now, if I was to break that down further to the weekly value of each client, let's say it was $50. So let's say they were doing 2 semi-private coaching sessions with me weekly, and I charged $50 for that. Okay, their membership was $50. That would mean that I would need 25 clients. Okay, so by the end of March, I'd need 25 clients paying $50 weekly. Now, if I was to break that down, because I've gone weekly, let's break that down into a weekly target. That means I need to sign 2 new clients a week. Now, guys, the beauty of what we've just done is this: rather than focusing on the 5,000, rather than focusing on the 1,250, rather than focusing on the 25, I can now focus on 2 new clients a week. Now, some of you are saying, yeah, but what happens if people drop off? Well, A, they're not going to, because you guys are going to have great client care and retention, A. But B, let's say they did. All of that means, printer's just fired up. All of that means is that you would need to grow and add 2 new clients to your member base per week. So if you lost 3, you'd have to sign 5. If you lost 1, you'd have to sign 3. So we're growing the business by +2 every week. That makes sense, guys? Yeah, cool. Really simple. Guys frantically scribbling. So with your, and again, next activity, with your business goal now, give you a minute or 2 for this. Take that 12-month goal, divide it by 4 and set your first 90-day target using the model that I have here. Okay, give you a couple of minutes. All right. Let's ask Ange. Happy New Year, Ange. You bring yourself off mute if you like. Save me picking on the guys here.
Hey.
Hey, how you going?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Did you have a good Christmas?
Yeah, it was good. Indulged a little bit, but
As we all did.
yeah, no, it was a good Christmas.
I spent Christmas night cuddling the toilet. Let's not go into that. Let's hope not too many watch the replay. Okay. Big business goal. What have you got set for this year?
This year,
Yeah.
I've set a date to quit my job.
Cool.
It's actually creeping up really soon, so it's kind of scary. 30th of April.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so we've got a 90-day target that we need to smash out of the water, yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. Now, without disclosing numbers, which you don't have to do, I would suggest that your 90-day target is to replace that job income with PT income, yeah?
Yes.
Cool. Good guess, hey?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And I'm not going to ask you how we're going to do it because we're going to get into that very soon. Big personal goal.
Big personal goal.
Yes.
More time.
To do?
Just more time to hang out with friends, family. Yeah, more
Cool.
time in general.
Okay,
Moment.
so
Pretty flat out.
yeah, so time. So where are you going to allocate that time?
Where?
Yeah. When in the week would you allocate that time?
Weekend normally, because that's when everyone has time.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone's in their 9-to-5 jobs. For me, not so much. It's more
Yep.
on the go.
So what you might like to do, and just a quick suggestion, what you might like to do is even write a list of some of the things that you'd like to do over the weekend, some of the little adventures you're going to have. As an example, we've already ticked off, and again, look, ours is very similar. Look, and as much as, not that it's necessarily a goal for us, but the one thing that, because obviously mentoring, footy coaching, Renee's business is the kids, the one thing that obviously we're really mindful of is balance. So there are some key things that we've wanted to tick off and that we will tick off this year from a social perspective. Magic Millions Day was one. A few little race days here and there because that's what we love. We love, the social aspect of the races. So what you might like to do is just list out some of the things that you might, now even if it's a jet ski safari or going on a day trip somewhere, write those things down and have them there, and then as you do them, tick them off.
Okay.
All right? Cool.
Yep.
All right. I'll come back later. We'll come back later. All right, let's keep rolling. So, goal setting, really important. Didn't want to spend a huge amount of time on that one, but I wanted to spend enough time that you guys have something there to refer back to for the first quarter. And again, as much as everyone has their own way of personal development and things that they're into and things that resonate best with them, I get that sometimes the old school traditional method doesn't necessarily, Gemma's back, doesn't necessarily, has everyone met Gemma? I can't see because they're all on screen. I'm just reading my notes, see?
Hello.
I do get that sometimes that more traditional and what we've known as personal development, I understand that sometimes that doesn't sit with people. I get it. So if what I've even covered in the first little sector today has helped from a, you know what, it's okay where I'm at right now. It is. You know what? You're at where you're at. That's great. You don't have to like it. You've just got to accept it. And if you don't like it, well, where do you want to be? What's it going to take? Well, where do you want to be? What's the difference? And then break it down. And then if you don't know what to do to get it, find someone that's done it and pick their brains and take their advice and go to work and put it into practice and see where it gets you. It might work, it might not, but at least you've been proactive so often. I see paralysis by overanalysis, and people sit and do their numbers forever, but they don't do anything. Guys, do something. Take action. I know those of you that follow Kerwin Ray, massive on it. Just do something. Yes, use this as your starting point. But then, again, success leaves clues. If you're not where you want to be and you can find someone that's been there and done that, you know what? Go and use them. All right. Hope that helps. Let's get into the art of communication. That's a terrible photo, but I thought I'd throw it up just because it was terrible. Why is communication so important? Those of you tuning in live, and those of you watching the stream, and those of you watching the replay, why is communication so important? We know what, without communication, we'd live in a world that was probably a bit like this. Which would be a bit hard in a people industry that's based on results. Now, the reason that I've wanted to spend some time on this, and again, I'm going to fast track this a little bit. Some of you have done this, some of you haven't. Those of you that haven't, I'm going to invite you to complete the activities that we're about to go through with someone in your own time. And then I'm going to invite you to continue to complete the activities with complete strangers. Yes, I'm weird. Everyone's giggling. For this reason. Communication, we talk about communication skills all the time. And for mine, yes, I understand that NLP can help with communication. I understand NLP can help with a lot of things. I'm not one to sit there and dissect everything that everyone says and try and get to the deeper meaning and root and try and pull them apart in the space of one conversation. For me, communication is an art form, but it is something that can be practiced. Some people get it easily, some people not so much. Some people have been brought up being a chatterbox. Some people have been thrust into situations as kids where they've had to communicate. Some people not so much. Again, for me, a lot of our communication, what I find fascinating, and guys, please take this note, even if you're watching the replay, get your pens ready. We are more connected than ever before. More connected than ever before. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, text message, mobile phones. Yet we are as disconnected as we've ever been. Why? Because more often than not, the communication is through our fingertips and not verbally. Which means the skill of listening, the art of listening to understand, to ask questions off the back and to empathize and to ask questions where you show that you are interested in your potential client, where you show that you are genuinely interested in who they are, what they do, what they're about, and as I say, empathize with their situation. Very difficult to show empathy via text, I believe. You can do it, but I think it's far better delivered in person with your voice, where you have control of your tone and you're much more understanding of someone's problems because you can soften your tone. As I just did then, as most of you just picked up on. So communication for me is an art and a skill. It's not a science. Now, we're going to have a crash course today in the art of communication. We're going to have a crash course actually in the art of connection and the art of building rapport, the art of being a people person, the art of, and the number one skill that's going to help you to sign new clients, and the number one skill that's going to help you to retain clients, and the number one skill that's going to help you to build a people business. So question, what's the easiest way to build rapport with someone? Roundtable conversation. What's the easiest way to build rapport with someone? Have a chat. Yep. What do you chat about? Them? Yep. Yep. So what they like, what they're into. Yep. Cool. What else? Find things in common. There we go. The easiest way to build rapport with someone and to build know, like, and trust factor, because we know people don't like to be sold to, but they love to buy. The easiest and best way to build rapport is to find things that you have in common. Now, here's an interesting task for you all, those watching the replay. I encourage you to go away and find someone right now, might be one of your members. Find 3 things in common with one of your peers, members, what have you. Now, I want you to do this. Now, here's the key. I want you to do this without referencing health, fitness, PLC, or personal training. And the guys here live today, before you're all edgy, before you set off, and I'm not going to give you any instruction, but find 3 things in common with one of your peers. Let's see how long it takes. Off you go. I've got a new session cranking downstairs, so the music vibrations going through the floor. Okay, good fun? Good fun? Still trying to find 3 things in common? Was it awkward? Was it weird? It's only weird because you made it weird. But yeah, of course it was. Now, how do you think your conversations go? Now, if you were to take health, fitness, now we've got, when someone new comes in, we've got health, fitness to come back to. If all else fails, we've got that to come back to. But what we ideally want to be able to do is converse with anyone and everyone. And this is going to sound really weird, but this is stuff that you guys can actually go away and practice with complete strangers. And you know what the best conversation starter in the world is? I'm waiting for all these cheesy, one-liners to come out, these cheesy pickup lines. No. really, it's a tricky one. But the best conversation starter is, hello, my name is, what's your name? How are you? I know it sounds complicated, but that is the best conversation starter in the world. When we get to member experience in a moment, you're going to see exactly why this is so important, okay? Now, just think, if you didn't have health and fitness, how awkward. If you didn't have that health and fitness point and the goals and why someone's come to see, if you didn't have that to come back to, how do you think your conversations would flow? Probably as awkward as the one you just had. And for those of you watching the replay, I don't know whether you had a conversation with yourself, but definitely go and try this. Because I promise you, generating leads is one thing, but your ability to converse and tracking your conversations is even more powerful a stat to track when growing your business. I could have all of these people like posts and comment on posts, and I could call them leads. But if I can't have a conversation with them, or if someone can't have a conversation with them enough to build rapport and get them to know, like, and trust us, forget it. You're in the wrong industry, guys. So let's look at the formula. And again, some of you I know watching the replay will have gone through this. I want to use this for you guys as a refresher. For you guys that haven't seen this, start scribbling. Now, as a bonus, guys, I'm going to put the notes from today. I'm going to put the PowerPoint slide into the coaching crew. Again, something from me to you, a nice little bonus for you all. So the formula, how does it work? Friends and family. The F stands for friends and family. Believe it or not, formula is an acronym for F, friends and family. Now, what you're going to find too, and again, depending upon how your consultation sheet flows, and we have some pre-ex questionnaires and things like that, and templates that you guys can look at. I know the PLC ones are really well put together. Your pre-exercise questionnaire will help to set this conversation up. So friends and family, and they start writing like, okay, that's an interesting, Zorko, that's an interesting surname. Where are you from? If I saw a Smith, oh, you're one of the 3 million Smiths in the world. Potentially. Again, you don't want to be too awkward, too corny, but again, depends on how you read the person. Okay, you're asking about things like marital status. Are they married? Do they have kids? Okay, you can ask where they live. You can ask if they grew up here. Okay, friends and family. The O stands for occupation. On your pre-ex, I hope you have a section that asks them to share their occupation. If you don't, add it in. Why? Because if I see that Bo's a plumber, or if I see that Lewis is a plumber, I'm going to say, hey, mate, how long have you been a plumber for? Okay, great. And who'd you do your apprenticeship through? Okay, where are you working at the moment? I've just given you a bit of a giveaway as to what the rest of the formula stands for, but some of you have got it. Some of you will pick it up in a second. The R, recreation. So what do they get up to on the weekends? Okay, so if I'm talking to Ange from before, Ange, what did you get up to with your friends on the weekend? Or what did you get up to on the weekend? Did you catch up with your friends? Cool, what did you get up to? Went skiing, went fishing, went this, went that. Great. Fishing, where do you normally fish? Okay, what do you catch? Oh, that's cool. I actually take my little fella, boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden, I'm starting to create a conversation. I've found something in common. They like fishing, I like fishing. I'm able to ask questions. Who knows, they might fish off the same jetty. They might throw the boat in at the same boat ramp, whatever it may be. You never know. You don't know. And that's the thing, guys. You don't know what you don't know. So ask the question, get to know them, and show that you are genuinely interested in them. I could sit here today and I could be, and you guys could look at me and go, oh, gee, he's an interesting person. He's got the best dad joke repertoire you've ever seen. His hair doesn't move, da-da-da-da-da. I could be an interesting person, But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm interested in you. That doesn't necessarily mean that I've shown enough care factor and understanding and empathy for where everyone's at. So the key with this and what we're looking to achieve here, and again, if you look at the current trends, this is what people want, guys. And we're going to go into a section with member experience in a moment as to why the F45s and the PLCs and the CrossFits of the world are thriving and why the Anytimes and Snaps and Jets aren't. We'll go into that very soon. The M stands for, so why are they here today? What brings you here today? So even if you weren't able to use health, fitness, personal training, PLC, you still could have asked your friend, you still could have asked your peer from before, so what brings you here today? And everyone giggles because they went, oh, I didn't even think of that. Okay, so activity number 2. Those of you tuning in the live stream, or for those of you watching the replay, go and find a new partner and repeat activity 1 and see if you can do it in faster time. Look to find 3 things that you have in common now that you know what you can ask them. Now, PS, there is an art to this. I don't encourage you to say, hi, my name's Angie, you married? Probably not ideal. Probably a little bit forthcoming. But have some fun with it, guys. Off you go. All right, how you going, crew? How'd you go? Bit less awkward? Got there a bit faster? It's funny because I dare say what you're finding. So for those watching the replay or for those tuning in live, and we'll come back to some of you guys soon. You'll find that you're getting there a bit faster now. And what I'm finding is that even live here, it's getting harder and harder to shut people up, which I'm really appreciative of, which is good. It means we're getting it. So now to make this an art form and now to give you something that, again, regardless of who it is, the situation, where you meet them, you've now got something that is a great conversation starter and something that will enable you to, again, be confident, but be comfortable in a conversation. Now, for me, the most important skill of communication is using these ones. And for me, that's why verbal communication is so important. Guys, sometimes I could send a text to someone. In fact, I could send one text to 5 people and the 5 people would take it differently. They would read it differently. They would understand it differently. And that's why it's so difficult in our industry to do things via written typing or text, as in utilizing text for communication. Especially when you haven't yet locked them in as a member of your business. Okay, so really important here. So the back end of the formula, so the U, L, and A. Use open-ended questions. So questions that are going to give you more than a yes/no answer. Questions that are going to encourage a conversation and a reply from the other party. So instead of asking someone, "Are you well today?" and they say yes, "How are you? What did you get up to on the weekend?" Invite them to open up. Encourage conversation. Encourage conversation with your line of questioning, guys. Questions are the answers. And here's the thing, it's something I learned a long time ago with communication. Everyone's got the answers. Everyone's got the answers. You just got to ask the right questions. And the only person that's going to make a consultation or a conversation weird, typically on our part, is us. So you get to a consultation and you feel nervous and edgy and awkward. The person sitting across from you knows no different. So they're thinking, oh, so this is what PT's really like. And guys, you think about it. Our industry's saturated. How many people have had a terrible consultation and it's completely turned them off personal training? They've just met with the wrong person and that's their take. Well, all personal, and then they stereotype. All personal trainers are like this, and they're like, and yeah, it doesn't work. Okay? This is why I'm so passionate about educating trainers on communication. This is why this for me is so fun. L, listen to understand. It's part of the reason why I love the formula, because it gives you enough structure to be able to ask questions and develop and generate conversation without you sounding robotic and sounding like a robot and following a script. So, for example, I first started coaching and doing sales calls to grow the business I previously worked for. And I got given a script. And I followed this script to the absolute T. How are you today? What have you been up to? What would you like to achieve in business? Why is that so important to you? On a scale of 1 to 10, what if you didn't achieve that? How would you feel? And I felt like a robot. Not only did I sound like a robot, I felt like a robot. Now, guys, imagine this. You're in a consultation and you're on the receiving end of, how was your day? Where do you live? How many kids have you got? What's your goal? How important is it to you? On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it to you? Okay. Any problems with your knees? No. What about your back? No. Imagine sitting through that. Whew, hard work. And the sad thing is that some do. So listen to understand people's responses. Okay. Open up the questions. Listen to understand. Go back to my plumbing example from before. Okay. Hey, Lewis, I see you're a plumber. It's great, buddy. How long have you been a plumber for? Oh, terrific. And who did you do your qualifications through? Okay. And did you jump straight into that after school, or Okay, cool. Mate, where'd you go to school? All of a sudden, I've taken it from occupation to school. I'm opening up a conversation. Now, I'm not a plumber, so I don't have that in common with him. I could have said, I've got a few of the boys that I coach are plumbers, actually, and they work for such and such, and they're actually on this job at the moment. And I could open up conversation there. I want them to feel like they, A, know me, B, I want them to like me, and C, I want them to trust me. Without no like and trust factor, people are not going to buy. Look at your telemarketers. You get a call at 6 o'clock. Now, you see the phone go at 6 o'clock and you go, I know who that is. Hello, sir, I'm from Optus. I'm just seeing if you want to go from Optus to Telstra. Or from Telstra to Optus, whatever the conversation may be. Or now they're going, hello, sir, how was your day? I don't know you. An introduction would have been great. And typically what happens is the next night when it's 6 o'clock and they ring back, you just don't answer. You don't want to be that person. Okay? People don't like to be sold to, but they love to buy, and they love the decision-making process when it comes to buying. Take them through the process. Okay? The A is the breakthrough question. So if all else fails and you're struggling to build rapport and to find things that you have in common, and you're really struggling to get a connection with them, ask this. Hey, Lewis, if there's one area of your life right now that you'd love to achieve a breakthrough in, what would that area be? You know what, to be brutally honest, Bo, I just want to be able to run around in the backyard with Dex and not have him beat me. No, I'm kidding. I just want to be able to run around in the backyard with my kids. That's what you want to have. And that is the deeper meaning as to why they're here in front of you. And when we come to consultations, which we're not going to cover today, but when we come to looking at consultations and what that first part of that process is, which is a lot of this, a lot of what we've gone through today. It's not all of it, but it's a lot of it. When they talk about, I just want to achieve a level of health, when they look at that breakthrough, I just want to achieve a level of health that allows me, and fitness that allows me to run around in the backyard with my kids and be, yesterday's hero with my kids and be an active dad. Penny drop moment, bingo, you've got them. Hit the floor, let's go, let's get moving. And you now know what you can constantly refer back to when you go through that short training workout or that session that you take them through. Okay, so guys, last one, activity 3, choose a new partner. Now, my prediction here is that I'm going to struggle to stop you. So I'm going to give you a good 5 minutes. I want you to find out as much as you can in common with someone new. You've got your formula, friends and family, occupation, recreation, meaning, why they're here. Use your open-ended questions, listen to understand, ask the breakthrough question if you're struggling, and build conversation off that. Those of you watching the replay, put it all together, find someone new, or even if you haven't done activities 1 and 2, put it all together now in activity 3 and test and measure this with 3 different people. Go and have conversation. Go and make conversation and get to know them. Because when we get to member experience, which we're going to go on to shortly, when we get to member experience, the key here is you have to show your understanding of your market, and it's very difficult to show that if you don't understand them and you don't know them and you don't know what makes them tick and why they're here. Have fun, guys. See you soon. Now, what I find amazing here is that it's been 5 minutes, and the guys have taken their conversations outside because they're still going. That's okay. But that's what you're going to find. We'll go and get them in a second. But the best conversation starter in the world. And it's something, and again, a little challenge that I'm going to set you all, for those tuning in today, watching the replay, when I go and get them, start tracking the number of conversations you're having on a weekly basis. And look, I understand that there are some MLM businesses that do this, and guys, don't be deterred by that, because those that have success in people businesses track their conversations. So again, when we look at marketing, I understand that we track leads and sales and bookings, and we track all of those key stats. And look, they are key stats, but the other key stat that I would encourage you to start tracking is the amount of conversations you have on a weekly basis. I track the amount of conversation. I track conversion-wise from lead to conversation on Messenger to phone call. That's what I track. And I have a set target, and there are X amount of conversations that and I know that if I have X amount of conversations each week, that I will grow my business. You can do the same. Now, sometimes those conversations don't necessarily lead to growth straight away, but remember, we're playing a long game here. We aren't a flash in the pan. Okay? We're looking to be here for the long term. We're gonna be here for more than 12 months, right? We're gonna bust that lifespan out of the water. Okay? So, before I go and give them this activity, I'm gonna give it to you guys so you can keep going, because I haven't stopped them yet. So, activity number 4. What we're going to do is rehearse this now as an initial consultation in the first 15-minute period. Okay? Now, we're not going to go any further into consultations today, but this is the last activity on our art of connection and communication as a skill and an art form. Grab a new partner, and again, watching the replay or tuning in and without partners around you, I completely understand, and it would be very difficult for me to take you all off me and go boom, 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 boom. But from an activity perspective moving forward, please feel free to complete this. And look, you're going to do this with new people that you're booking anyway. But as I go and get them outside, for those of you that are watching the replay and watching it as a group, grab a new partner and rehearse this again as an initial consultation. So do the whole role play. Walk in the door, greet them, and go through that process to the point and up until the point that you would then take them for a quick workout or for an assessment or whatever the process is that you use. Okay, I'll go and get them. See you in about 15 minutes. Okay, now, for the sake of the recording, I'm going to press on. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep the guys going. They're doing a great job, and we've just set some new activities for them. We'll come back to them. I'm going to spend the next half hour with you here on the recording, looking at member experience. The guys are going to do some other activities and have a little interval. We're going to knock this off in that time, and then you guys can go and put it into practice, and then I'll catch them up as to where we're at. Okay, so let's look at what we see on screen. Let's look at the member experience. Okay, for me, I guess a pre-framing to this right now. I want to start with, for me, where the industry, and we're seeing some distinct segregation, some distinct separation in what's happening in the industry. And what I've done, and again, for the sake of pre-framing the member experience and showcasing the importance of it right now, and showcasing more to the point what people want and meeting the market, not necessarily following a trend, but meeting the market. I've categorized businesses in two, and you'll see there the F45 PLC CrossFit, boutique personal training studios, boutique fitness studios, I could have added in there too, yoga, Pilates, etc., versus Snap Jets Anytime. Break down the costs. So for sector one, so grouping number one, okay. Don't know whether I need to say legal disclaimer here, but again, this is, guys, these are my views, and this is why we always felt that personal training was going to go full circle. It is big time from where we first started, where that personal service was everything. We've now gone right through an automation period where people have now gone, you know what? I want to be loved. I want to feel like I'm a part of something. And I'm happy to invest in that. So grouping one, grouping two. Grouping one, $49 to $79 a week. Basic membership. Now, I would say that goes even further from a personal training viewpoint. You could be upwards of $150, $200 a week, absolutely. Sector two, $14.95 to around about $21.95, depending if you go platinum or whether you go the highest level with some of those clubs. Big difference though, isn't it? Big difference. Category one's hot right now. Category one is hot. Category two, not so much. Why? Why? Are people necessarily only looking at costs when it comes time to join a personal training or a fitness business? Are they now looking for more? Are they now wanting more? Or, again, come back to my statement before, we really feel that the industry's gone full circle. When we first started seeing personal training and we saw the personal training boom, it was very much one-on-one, individualized, specialized, accountability, support. Certainly feel like you're a part of something, working with a coach on a path to achieving it. Then we went into groups and boot camps, and then we went into an automation period where it was online personal training. And you know what? Be a member of my site and I'll give you all the workouts. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to give you any support, but yeah, just be a member for $10 a week. And people had great success with that. People still are having great success with that, but the ones having great success with that have a great support aspect to their business. So my question, guys, what are people really considering when looking to join a personal training or a fitness business? And this is the thing that I keep coming back to. We used to say, and we really used to live by this. The best retention tool for a personal training business and the number one retention tool for a PT business is results. I don't necessarily subscribe to that one so much anymore. Here's why. People aren't going to achieve the results they want to achieve if they don't like showing up. If they don't like showing up, they ain't going to get the results they're after, because you know what? They're not going to put in 100%. They're not going to want to be there, and you're not going to get the most out of them. So if they don't like going to training now, if we look at the current trend, let me come back a few slides. Let me come back here. And I'm going to use personal experience and current coaching experience on this one. I work with a fitness business and I'm going to be very general with this because I'm not going to name names. I work with a fitness business here in Australia. They are getting a groundswell of members from a particular 24/7 chain now come and join their business. Why? Because they don't like going to the gym anymore. They don't. They were promised massive things with a business model changing and different concepts, and nothing was delivered. And most importantly, as much as the bright, shiny new gear was delivered, the service, the experience, the atmosphere, the little things still aren't being delivered. So guess what? They've gone to a place that delivers them. Okay? So guys, what makes the member experience in your business? Okay? What makes the member experience in your business? Why do people love coming and training with you? Why do they leave work at 5 o'clock and cannot wait to walk through the door, whether they've had a good day, bad day, indifferent day? Why do they love coming to see you? What creates photos like this? Okay, what creates images like this one? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and I think there's another 2 on the end, so let's say 20. I almost guarantee you that with a lot of the 24/7s now, unless they're brand new and just opened and they're the bright new shiny toy in town, I guarantee that you would struggle to find 20 people in the one place at the one time in a 24/7 gym. And it all starts with the Good Charlotte Effect. They wrote a brilliant song. It's called The Little Things. If you haven't listened to it, have a listen to it, because this is where I got the inspiration from. I used to call it the Cheers Effect. So going to a place where everybody knows your name. Yep, okay, corny, might be showing my age there, but hey, that's what I grew up with. Don't hold that against me. The Good Charlotte Effect and the Little Things is where it all starts. And I want to take the time and I want to share this with you today, because these are the things right now that are making all the difference in the industry. They're making all the difference to the general public. They're making all the difference to members. Your greeting, the way you greet your members. So important. So important that we're using hello and their name. Practice it. Now, with a personal training business, quite often we don't necessarily have the volume of members, so it's much easier for us. Know your clients' names, guys. I know that sounds a really basic one, but know your clients' names and greet them accordingly. Greet them with a smile. Present well. Okay, present well. Neat, tidy, smile. Hair done. Shoes are clean. Ready to go. Ready to give them, and whether it's one-on-one or whether it's semi-private, ready to give them your undivided attention for 45 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, however long your session goes for. That's what they want to see. They want to see strong, confident posture. Hey guys, are you ready for training? It's not really inspiring, is it? Whereas if I'm up, set, hey Lucy, hey Tom, hey Phil, hey Britt, how you going? How's your day been, guys? Great. What everyone get up to on the weekend? Terrific. Cool. Guys, you warm up here. Girls, you warm up there. Let's go. Posture. Confident. Belief in the product. Belief in what you do. Okay? Your interest in them. We went through this with the formula before. no good me being an interesting person and telling them about Pythagoras' theorem or the latest keto theorem or the latest product line that's come out, or I can be topical in conversation, but I want to create a discussion. I want to create conversation. I'm not going to talk at them and give them 1,001 useless facts. Give them a conversation, okay? Your genuineness. Hey, I know little Bobby wasn't feeling so well last week. Is he feeling better? Did he have a better weekend? Hey, I know Bub's teething at the moment. How's he going? Interest, genuine, empathetic. Your etiquette as a fit pro. Yeah, just 3 more. Yeah, no, you come this way. It's okay to take photos. It's okay to take selfies. It's okay to use this as a marketing tool, but guys, you need it for 2 minutes and put it in your pocket. I understand if you're using a tablet for your programming. I get that. That's no problem at all. But you don't need to be on the tablet the entire time. Hold the tablet, record the weights, put it down, have a conversation. Okay? Your follow-up. Okay, again, we're talking about the little things. Great session, guys. How's everyone feeling? Terrific. Hey, I'll touch base tomorrow to see how your legs are. Hey, I'll touch base tomorrow to see how little Bobby's feeling. Care. Gary V. Everyone, again, I know some of you watching the replay. Who's a Gary V fan? If you're a Gary V fan, you would have noticed that I've posted something a little while ago. The best marketing tool that you will ever use, the best marketing strategy you will ever use is care. Care for your clients, show interest in them, be genuine, give them an experience, give them somewhere that gives them an outlet. Okay? We even touch on our mental health topic. You never know what people are dealing with. Give them an outlet. Give them an ear. I get that as personal trainers, our role is diverse. We are counsellors. We are educators. We are coaches. We offer guidance. We offer advice. I also know that within your own business, you're admin, you're chief of sales, you're the chief cleaner, you're all these things. I get it. I get it. But these are the little things, and I hope watching the replay, and I know you've got this in the team thread now and you've probably flipped through already, but guys, pick 3 of these that you can improve on right now. Okay, pick 3 of these things you can improve on right now. This is where the market's at. This is what CrossFit got so right. This is why CrossFit have maintained their position in the industry. This is what F45 and the well-run F45s are getting right. They know everybody's names. They're well presented. They've got the uniform on. They're ready to go. They hold their posture. Okay. With the class size, they may not show the interest that they could show, but again, we're looking group-based business, not personal training type business. So I give them some leeway there. But the best run ones nail this, they nail this, and they nail their posture. And I think ideally, if I was, again, legal disclaimer, if I was to be and give my brutal advice and my brutal honesty and my opinion on that business model, I'd say that their 3 to improve on would be the last 3. Okay. I think their etiquette could be a lot better. I think they could be even more genuine with what they do and not just flip people off. And I think they could follow people up and make them feel even more special. But that's just my opinion. And I've shared that with some operators and they're doing a great job. Okay. So ultimately, guys, we talk a lot about, within member experience, we talk a lot about, and within our facilities, we talk a lot about culture. And I know that within PLC, there are some key things there that, as owners and franchisees and operators and trainers and group instructors and your roles within PLC on top of what you're doing in your own business. I know that there are some things that they value incredibly. And for me, those things are the things that make up your brand. The little things make up your brand because that flows and rubs off on your members. So you greeting them by name and you showing interest and being genuine and having good posture, it rubs off on your members. So now Lucy's asking Billy if Bobby's feeling better. You encourage conversation because you're at the fore, you're the lead, you're the role model. And the reason that you're the leader, you're the role model, yes, it's your business, but these are the things that you value, guys. You've got to stand for something. And as big or small as you've grown your business right now, you've got to know the things that you value because this is what creates your culture. If you stand for punctuality, then be firm on your session starting times. If you value confirmations and you value people confirming and being clear with their communication and you value clear communication yourself, set this in your expectations when you sign new clients up. So when you sign them up, hey, this is what we expect. You will be friendly and supportive to our members and engage in our member activities, our social events. It is an expectation that you will come to sessions and, you know what, be very supportive and give people pats on the back and really involve yourself in what we're about. That regardless of how good or bad a day you've had, that you use this as an outlet. And whether you've had a good day or a bad day, you train hard and you get the most out of yourself in that given session. So you set your values. Guys, I encourage you watching the replay right now. What are the things that you value? Because the things that you value make up your brand and they also make up the culture within your fitness business, or they make up elements of the culture within your fitness business. Now, we hear that term culture and we hear the term brand thrown around loosely a heck of a lot without really understanding the core of it. There's the call right there. What do you value? What you value and what's important to you makes up your brand. And the things that you value are the things that then become your culture. Take a moment to write 3 things down, guys. I'm going to pop myself on mute for a second, grab a sip. Write down 5 things that you value. Is it punctuality? Is it communication? Is it openness of communication? Is it coming and giving your all? What are 5 things that you live by? And again, no good setting these things if you're not prepared to live by them too. If you value work ethic, you know what? Or if you think you value work ethic or you want to value work ethic, you got to do it. Now you got to practice what you preach here, okay? Give you a couple of minutes, write 5 things down. We'll come back in a sec. Let's pop myself on mute. All right, and again, for the sake of the replay, and I know that there are people bouncing in and out, guys, that's totally okay. I knew that the 3-hour window on a Monday can be difficult. I get that, that's fine. Again, if you're coming back to this, hope you've got your 5. And if all that you did was live by those, you'll see a massive change in your business. You'll see a massive change in the atmosphere, the community, the culture. Okay, the things that people are really looking for. Now let's go to the next step, which is the membership. So the membership here, and what I'm looking for is what am I getting for my money? What this membership? Okay, what do I get? And it's not because everyone's comparing on cost, so to speak. It's more so the fact that they want to compare on value. It's more the fact that, yes, they might want to get a good deal, but I think bigger picture here is they're happy to invest if you have the right components for them. Okay, so let's go from a PT perspective. Am I offering specialized programs? Am I offering a membership to a specialized program? Or am I just flicking out 2 sessions a week for $80? What do I then get for my $80? Or if I'm doing or what else do I get for my $80? Or if I'm in a specialized program, what am I getting as part of my membership? Is it just sessions, or do you help me with other things? What do you help me with? Okay. I want to see a real sense within the membership. I want to see that sense of community and atmosphere within the session. So when I come and I book in and I do a trial, and even popping downstairs before and seeing some of the guys in action, I want to be able to see what the place is like. I can get a sense that of an evening this place would absolutely hum. Can see it, can sense it. I want to know that I'm not alone on my journey. I want to know that you're going to help me and support me and hold me accountable. And again, when I go back to what the consumer is looking for right now, I want to know that I don't have to live off chicken and broccoli all the time. If I make some new friends, do we do some stuff? Do we go to races? Do we have member activities? What else do we do? Okay, and that's why the initiatives here, PLC, great initiatives. Doing things for charity all the time, making a real difference through the local community. Okay, it's really impressive. So within the membership, what is it that I'm actually getting for what am I becoming a part of? Can you share that with me? Can you share those values? And ultimately what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for those ingredients that we went through before. Remember we went through before with what the F45s and the PLCs and the CrossFits are offering versus more of your 24/7 chains. If I don't like the experience, if I don't enjoy the experience, if I don't enjoy the member experience, if I don't see atmosphere, community, if this isn't a place where I don't want to show up, or if this is a place where I don't want to show up, or if this isn't a place where I like coming to, I'm not going to come and I'm not going to get the results. So I need to see these things, because I know that if I'm part of a specialized program, that if there are elements of that program, I'm going to go through those in a second. But if I can see the other elements that you can help me with, if I'm part of a community, if I can see the support, if I'm held accountable, if I can see that, you understand that we're real people too, and I can have I can enjoy my weekends and we do some social things. I know that's what I want to be a part of, and I know that that's what's going to help me get my result. Crucial. And guys, in a few short weeks, I'm going to head up to one of the PLCs in Brisbane, and I'm going to, again, workshop time, the latest in fitness marketing. We're going to dissect what's going on right now. There is some really cool stuff happening that helps to showcase all of this in so many different ways. And I can't wait to share that with you. Okay. So let's have a look at what do I get for my money. And what people are wanting here is value. And what I say, and again, some of you, this will be a great refresher. Some of you will know what my viewpoint is on programs and memberships. And that is this: in an orchard full of apples, be an orange. The last thing that I encourage you to be as trainers is cheap. So if you're selling sessions, not programs, and the person down the road, and you're doing 2 sessions a week for $80, and the person down the road is doing 2 for 70, what are people going to do? You guys know the answer. And then flip that scenario around. Let's say you're the cheaper one. What are people going to do? You know what? You don't want to be the cheap trainer. I also don't think that's the type of client that you want to attract either. People that are going to compare on cost, because they typically don't stick, and you want people that are going to stick. So the specialized programs is the key. Now, when we look at specialized programs, guys, and again, we're talking member experience here. I'm not going to go too far into what types of programs that you should be offering. But I think as a generalization, I think you certainly want to have one that looks at weight loss or weight management. I think you certainly want to have one that's more performance or lifestyle based. And then we're going to get into the one that's going to be the new client magnet for you in a second, which is your irresistible offer. Okay. But within this, I'm offering, okay, what am I getting for my money? It's the number of sessions each week. It's the length of the sessions. It's the additional programs. Do you give me something I can do from home, or that I can come to PLC and do at a different time? Or that I could do elsewhere? Do you help me with my nutrition? Additional guidance, or actually on programs, do you have something that helps me with my mindset? Additional guidance, do you help me with nutrition? Again, do you help me with what's between my ears? You know what, I've done this before, and I've had a crack at this before. It hasn't really worked for me. I'd love to know that I can be stronger of mind as well. That'd be great. Tracking tools, do you use an app? Do you use the old-fashioned way? How do you keep them accountable? Gift vouchers. Friend or family member referrals straight off the bat. Other member benefits, we're going to get into those in a second, okay? The way that you embrace the local community and the local business owners that are just like you. They're in the same position as you. And the money back guarantee is one that I really like. The money back guarantee is one that I do enjoy putting in, purely and simply based off the fact that you are showing confidence and belief in your product. Okay, you are showing confidence and belief in what you do. Ultimately, what people are looking for here with your programs is this. And again, understand, guys, that your programs are niche or member specific. I don't want to offer a CrossFit program to pre and postnatal. Please don't do that. I don't want to be offering a yoga style of workout to a guy that wants to come in and build his chest and arms and look good at the beach. I don't want to offer a program to my mums where I need to see them for 2 hours a session when I know they just can't do it. Okay, so what I'm looking for is something that's specialized. And again, all of this contributes to the member experience because you're showing that you get them. You're showing that you have products and services that they not only want, but that they need. And that part of being a member of that, they get to experience, and they get to be part of a community, and they get to join in an atmosphere, and they get to be part of social activity, and they get greeted with a smile and a hello Lucy, hello Jane, hello Billy, hello Bobby, with a trainer that's ready to go and primed and prepped, ready to give them their 100% full focus for their session, and that's genuinely interested in them, that's going to give them the support they need, not just from themselves as a trainer, but through your VIP groups and your email or SMS marketing. And ultimately, I want to know that that works. I want something that's specialized. I want to know that I'm going to be supported through the journey. And you know what? I want to see if it works. I want to see if you have some proof that this works. And that's where we segue into the irresistible offer. Because the irresistible offer for me really is the new client magnet for personal training right now. I know there are Facebook ads running left, right, and center. Challenge this, program that. You know what? Invest $3,000. Who off the street after Christmas, school back, school fees, school uniforms, bills, rates, water, power? Who's got $3,000 just to go, oh yeah, kaplonk, I'm in? Really? But the irresistible offer, they do. And the reason that I call it the new client magnet is for this reason. It really sorts those who are realistic and really want to be part of it and really want to make a change to those who are just waste of timers. Let's have a look at it. Here's a really cool example. The Dad Bod Project. This is one that we set up with a client of mine in North Queensland, actually. He did it again. I thought this was really cool. So this is one that has been done for group training. Now, I'll show you how you can really easily adapt this for personal training, but let's have a look. The Dad Bod Project. So it's appealing to dads straight away. He's got old mate here on the couch. He's got someone that's on his way. I'm going to say, let's be polite. Oh, he's got someone that's on his way here. On his way to and clearly showing that he wants to do something about it. Okay? We've got a punchline here. Time to get your energy back. Now, if I was to be critical, I'd be saying, you know, get your energy back to be the active dad you always wanted to be. Hit home and show that you understand them. Okay, then we've got all of our add values here. So let's go from the top. Unlimited access to group sessions. Now, guys, I would encourage you to do probably one PT session a week. I would also encourage you to do this via semi-private coaching. Okay, be clever. So if you were to do, for example, one for the mum, so you might do the Mummy Mojo project, regain your mojo after the school holidays. There you go. Take that, run with it, guys. Enjoy. Now, what I would look at there is I would give them access to a PT coaching session weekly. And what I would do is I would have them in with a group of 2 or 3 other mums. Okay? Then your profit margin for something like this becomes a little bit greater. But as I say, they still only invest their $97. Okay? So they would get their bonus PT session. Now, you would do that purely and simply because you need to get them in to be able to sign them up. So I want to run them through a consultation. Now, that's effectively a bonus PT session, guys. I'm happy for you to use that terminology. Okay, we've got fitness testing, nutritional guidance, accountability sessions, 24/7 support. Over the 30 days, it's $97. 97 versus 3,000. I know which one people are going to go for. Now, the beauty of the irresistible offer is this. Let's go through the key points. One, the reason why the irresistible offer is so successful right now in the new client space is because we can consider it like an extended trial period. Guys, free trials are just about dead and buried when it comes to PT. Just about. They work if you are going to have one of your members refer someone to, or a client refer a friend to you. Happy to roll a free trial then. But as a lead magnet or a new client magnet, without the referral and the relationship, not so much. So they're an extended trial period that people invest in. So they get the extended time that they invest in to get to know you, to get to know the members, and to get a feel of what it's like to be part of your business. And that 30-day period also gives them time to achieve a result. They'll drop some centimeters, they'll gain some energy, they'll get a bit fitter, they'll get a bit stronger, the pants will be a bit looser, the shirts will be a bit tighter, whatever it may be, whatever that specific program that you, or project that you develop, or that specific irresistible offer that you create is. And that's why these are so hot right now. People can click 3 buttons and download 3 trials to 3 different businesses, and you know what? WOFs, waste of timers. They will bounce from business to business all year long and not get anywhere. You don't want to attract those people. You want to attract the ones that are serious by developing and creating something like this. Now, again, given that this is a recording and where some of you will be watching this via replay, guys, if you have any questions about your irresistible offer, by all means, send them through to me. I'm more than happy to help. Okay? So now's the time to set to work. So if you're watching the replay, and write this down because I'm going to wrap up very shortly. Get to work creating your irresistible offer in time to have it running for Feb. Now, I know that some of the PLCs will be doing challenges and things like that, but feel free to use this as a project to encourage some of the new members that come through PLC, or even those that you generate via or by using your marketing strategies, and track them into your business that way. Okay? Again, if you have any questions, by all means, feel free to shoot a message through our thread. More than happy to help. Okay? Let's wrap up the member experience though, because obviously when you get people in, you want to show that you've got a wonderful community created, that you offer great support, and that we have an amazing atmosphere that people walk into. Okay, so ways to enhance the member experience in your business. Let's go through these. A client care program. Guys, the first 30-day period in your business is the most important for new clients. Outside of your session time with them, I want to make sure that I'm touching base with them at least once a week. Okay, now we go through this extensively in the program this year. We'll cover that in good time. You want to have a support group. Most of you will have a Facebook group where you pop your clients and their friends and leads and things like that. You want to make sure that's operating, because that effectively is the online sanctum or the online community for your business. Okay, you pop some communication through there, change of times and whatnot, but you welcome people, you shout people out, you take the atmosphere and experience from the sessions and you dump that into the group, and you get that humming as well. So people, they're bouncing messages and they're bouncing to and from each other all day long. Okay, social activities and events. Rock climbing, lawn bowls, going to do one of the Spartan races, a fun run. There's a fun run this weekend, International Women's Day. They're the things that we want to be doing outside. Having a social Saturday. The coffee van rolls up after the session finishes and off you go. Let's have a coffee. Okay, member appreciation events. Same thing, social Saturday, all the members come in, we all do a big session together, and afterwards we've got maybe a fruit platter, maybe some vouchers to give away. You could have a dress-up day, lots of things that you could do there to show your appreciation and say thanks to your members. Okay, a referral program. What do people get when they refer? We know that referral programs work best when there is incentive for the new person to join, but also for the member to refer in the first place. So what could you do there? Again, we want to make these unique and specific to your business. A loyalty program, rewarding longevity and loyalty to your business. Okay, getting through their first 3-month goals, then 6, 12, 18, 24. Again, here's a wonderful opportunity. Here's a really cool example too. There's a group training business called Step Into Life, and they have their club model. So 100 club, 200 club, 500 club, 1,000 club, 2,000 club, 5,000 club. So they have the club model, and every time that you complete a session, you add a point to your club, and then they denote your club with a shirt. They get a different coloured shirt, 100 club, 200 club, 500 club, etc. Really cool way to reward loyalty and to share your appreciation and gratitude for the people who are supporting you. Okay. The other one which I think, the other one which I really believe is going to take the boutique fitness business, and some are doing it now, but I think the one that is really going to make waves is going to be continued work with charity. And again, I'm talking boutique personal training businesses, studios, etc. I really believe that showing that you are, again, genuine, giving back, and not just from that aspect, but the fact that you're willing to get your members involved and give them some buy-in and some say with how things go and who we raise money for and what we do, and getting their involvement, again, makes them feel like they're really a part of something. Okay, now guys, as I say, we could go through these all day long, but here are some ideas that I wanted to give you today as to how you can really improve the member experience in your business. For me, I really believe that it all starts with things like this. It all starts with showing the connection between you and your clients. It starts with the greetings. It starts with the hello. It starts with the presentation, your posture, your genuineness, your kindness, your empathy, your questions, your interest. I think I said that twice. That's what it starts with, the little things. And again, if you look at what's hot right now and what's not, The businesses that are hot right now are those that are doing the little things and doing the little things well. Those that are not so much, you guys can put the rest together. Okay, but I love seeing images like this. This for me shows care factor, shows genuineness, and shows that you want to help people get their best results. Shows that you're proud of your work as well. Putting your face to your work, absolutely. Okay, now we're going to have Q&A with the crew, but guys, if you have any questions, by all means, flick them through the chat thread, message me privately. Everyone that watches the replay receives a free 30-minute strategy session with me. Okay, I'll float that through the group later as well. You guys get to book in and have your own time with me this over the next couple of weeks, which is great. By all means, I know there's a lot of content there. Okay, we've been over 2 hours, but I did really want to share this with you. And again, I know watching the replay, it's probably taken you a little bit longer if you've worked through the activities that we've had, but I just wanted to set the year off on the right note and give you an understanding that you're on the right track, that you're okay with where you're at right now, and that, again, if all you were to take away from today was this, that it's time to set the goal, it's time to break it down to targets, and then it's time to become obsessed with the process to achieve what you want. Become obsessed with the process. And that process is set the goal or define the target, set the plan. If you don't know how to do it, find someone that can help you. Probably know someone that can help you. Do the work and then review it, refine it, go through the process again. It's a simple cycle, but that's what you want to become obsessed with. I encourage you to become obsessed with that. Know where you're at, accept that. You don't have to like it, you just accept it. From there, right, here's where I want to be. Here's where I want to be. I'm going to break this down. So I've got a goal for every 90 days. I've got a target for every 90 days. Right, now how do I get that? If you don't know, ask me. If you do know, get to work. Review, refine, re-execute, and away we go. Okay. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed the Launchpad for 2019. Again, any questions, by all means, you know where to find me, you know how to find me. Few great changes to the program this year. Those of you watching the replay, I'll see you next Monday. We're actually kicking off some monthly competitions within the PLC crew, and I'm actually going to be delivering these workshops every 4 to 6 weeks, hopefully, in different PLCs around Gold Coast, Brisbane, may get interstate. We'll see what happens there. But really looking forward to coming and working with you at the Coalface. I'm going to get down and work with the guys that are coming back from their break and have finished their activities. For those of you watching the replay, thanks for taking the time to do so. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, by all means, guys, you know where to find me. Take care. See you next week.